Hi, my wonderful crochet friends. My name is Ashley, and today's tutorial are these really cute miniature little Santa hats. They're both pretty much identical. There's only just a little difference between the two, besides the colors and this little bitty little mistletoe. But this is a very much a beginner pattern. This is so easy and simple. Anyone can follow along and make this, gosh, within minutes. This is so easy. So we will start at the top here and we will work our way down with some double crochets. And then here, if you would like to add the white, or you can just continue with the red, we will make half double crochet, slip stitch, half double crochets, and slip stitch. Isn't that cute? And then this little like snowball pom-pom ball, it is really easy to make also. And these are so little, so this is what it looks like in the palm of my hand. Isn't that adorable? And it's so easy, like the kids will love this. This also would be a great pattern if you're a mom or a grandma or an aunt and you want to teach the little ones how to crochet and kind of get them involved, and get them in the holiday spirit, this would also be a really great family project to make. So the size of these are small but not too small. So the size of these, so from the snowball down, is almost 3 inches. So that's not bad. That's really not bad at all. And then across is kind of close to 2¼ inches. This one here, this one is just slightly wider. I added one extra double crochet to the last row of the hat versus this one. And then on the bottom here, I added just an extra set of the half double crochets at the end. And also, if you want to learn how to make this little mistletoe, I'll teach you how to make that too. So for our project, I am using a 5mm crochet hook. And the yarn here, this yarn is, I love this yarn. It's a Hobby Lobby yarn. And the colors are, so this red here, this red is cranberry. So this is what the yarn ball looks like. I love this yarn and I got it on sale on clearance. And it's really popular to use for Santa hats. And the color is cranberry. Very pretty yarn. And very soft too. This yarn is a very soft number 4 acrylic yarn. So and also you could easily use white or any colors you want. You could always turn that into an elf hat if you want. And so the white is actually more like an off-white. Let's see here. Here we go. Okay, so the white I'm using is Ivory. And this is kind of like a really nice off-white color. And for this mistletoe here, so what I did was I just used some scrap yarn that I had. And I had recently went to Dollar Tree. And I had, if I can find the yarn, there it is. I had picked this yarn up. This yarn here is the Dollar Tree yarn, and it's called Princess yarn. And it's so like petite, it's so tiny, but it's very soft, and I really like it. It's nice. So that's what I used for our little mistletoe here. Isn't that cute? And the little berries, I used red floss. And I picked this up from Walmart in their craft department. And this is like a really thin, silky, shiny thread. So this is really nice to use for that as well. And I also wanted to show you all another ornament that you could find on my channel. This is the crochet wreath, and it's made with puff stitches. Isn't that cute? So we work in the round, just going around, making stacked V-stitch puff stitches. Isn't that pretty? And this ribbon here is the red floss here. Yeah. Oh, and this here, so it fits right in your hand. It's like the perfect size for a wreath. And it is 4 inches. So 4 this way and 4 this way. Go ahead and grab your yarn. Oh, one more thing. I am going to use a yarn needle, and of course I'll show you why. I use the yarn needle to cinch the top of our little pom-poms. So it's not totally necessary if you don't want to, but if you would like to create little dimensions and textures to it. So both of these snowballs are made the same, but they look a little different. And the difference between this one is I used this yarn needle and I went in and out several different ways and kind of tightened it up, and it created kind of like cute little snowball textures. So that's always an option too. So I will be using the same yarns, a yarn needle with the 5mm hook for the category 4-weight yarn, and scissors. So what we will do is we will start with a slip knot. And this is the cranberry colored yarn. And for row 1, we will make a chain 3. So I'm going to go up. I'm going to move my hook up and turn it, and then catch that yarn and pull that through. And that is a chain. I'm going to do this 2 more times. So we have 3 chains. So we are going to make double crochets. So I'm going to dip my hook and wrap that yarn around my hook. I'm going to dip my hook down to that very first chain here. And you can go through the back loop if you want, or you can, the chain is made up of three loops. So it's totally up to you if you want to go in around 2 loops or just 1. And now we're going to go up and grab that yarn, yarning over. We're going to go up and yarn over again and pull through 2 loops. And I have 2 loops on my hook. I'm going to go up, yarn over, and just pull that through those 2 loops. And that is 1 double crochet. I'm going to do this 2 more times. I'm going to go back in that same spot, that same chain, and go up and grab that yarn, pull that through. I'm going to go up and pull that yarn through 2 loops. I'm going to do that again and pull that through 2 loops. I'm going to repeat. So we have 3 double crochets. So for row 2, we are now going to chain 2, and we're just going to turn our work this way. So we're working in this direction. And right here in this space, this gap, this is considered our same chain. So in our same chain, we are now going to make 2 of those double crochets. So I'm going to wrap that yarn around my hook. I'm just going to place my finger here. I'm going to go into that chain, and I'm just going to repeat what I did before. Just going to make a double crochet. I'm going to do that one more time in that same chain. I'm going to repeat what I just did in the next 2 chains. That's 1, and 2. And I have 1 chain left right here. I'm going to do the same thing. That's 1, and that's 2. And for row 3, we are going to chain 2 and turn our work again. And for row 3, in the same chain here, we're going to make 2 double crochets in that chain, just like we did in row 2. So now what we will do is we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chains. In the next 4 chains, we will only make 1 double crochet. So we're only going to make 1. So that's 1. Here's that second one. And the third. And the fourth. So here's what our hat looks like so far. And I want to show you all. So the difference here between these 2 ornaments is this row right here that we're on. So here is where we will place our little snowballs, is right here. in that very first chain that we crocheted into. But here on the third row, this one is wider than this one. So the only difference is this very last chain. We started off with 2 double crochets in that very first chain of row 3. This one here has 2 in the first chain and 2 double crochets in the last chain. This one does not. This one has 2 in that very first chain, and in that very last chain it only has 1. So if you want to take a good look at both of them and decide if you would like to put 2 double crochets or 1 double crochet in that very last chain. Okay. I am going to make 2 double crochets because I want to show you all how to do this last row here. And oops, both of these, this last row, the last 2 rows actually, row 4 and row 5, are identical. It's just that this one here has that extra chain, and it has the extra little puffy thing here, and I will show you. So I'm going to turn it back this way so I can crochet again. I'm going to insert my hook and pull that working yarn down. I'm going to pull some slack. So in this very last chain, we're going to put 2, which you can put 1, but I just want to show you how to do the larger one. So that's 1. And that's 2. So this one here will resemble more of this wider one here. But for both of these, for row 4, we will chain 1 and we will turn our work. And for both of these, we are going to skip our first chain. So we're not going to go into this chain. We're going to skip that chain. We're going to go into the second chain. And we're going to go up, yarn over, grabbing that yarn, and we're going to pull it through and up. We're going to reposition our hand and pinch here. And we're just going to pull that loop through that loop. And that is a slip stitch. And we do not want to make these really tight. So we're going to go up, yarn over, pull that through and up, pinch here, and just pull that through. I'm going to do this in each chain. And I have 1 chain left. So right here is where you will change colors. If you want to have the white brim. So I did not finish that slip stitch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab that cream colored yarn, and I'm just going to pinch it and place it behind my work here. and pinch. I'm going to go up and grab that yarn, and I'm just going to pull it through both of those loops. Then this red here, I will grab it and I will just pull it down. And that red and white, I'll just tuck right here and hold, and then pull this down. That way it's all tightened down nicely. So for our last row, we will chain 1, and we will turn. And in our same chain right here, we will yarn over. We'll go into that chain. We will yarn over, pull that yarn through and up. We have 3 loops on our hook. We will yarn over and pull through all 3 loops for a half double crochet. In that same chain, we will make 1 more. So we'll wrap that yarn around our hook. We'll go into that stitch, go up, yarn over, pull that through and up, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. In the next chain, we will make 1 slip stitch. So we will go up, yarn over, pull that through, and pull that through that loop. And because this is our last row, I want that slip stitch to be much tighter. So I'm just going to pinch right here with my thumb, and then I'm just going to pull. And then I will pull this back down. And that tightens that up really nicely and pops this out, this little bulge here. And we will repeat this pattern all the way across in each chain. So this next chain here, we will yarn over. We will go into that chain for a half double crochet. We will go up, yarn over, pull through that stitch and up. We have 3 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. We will make 1 more half double crochet in that same stitch. The next stitch right here will be a slip stitch. The next chain will repeat the pattern, 2 half double crochets, in that same chain. Next chain, 1 slip stitch. Next chain, 2 half double crochets. Next chain, 1 slip stitch. And our very last chain here, let's see. In our very last chain, we will repeat the 2 half double crochets. And we will do this for both hats. So for both hats, we want to make sure our very last stitch gets 2 half double crochets. And there we go. So you can use this side or this side, whichever you would prefer. So now we will cut our yarn, and right here in that loop, we're going to grab that yarn tail and pull that to bind that off. This yarn tail we will now want to hide. So if I want this to be my back side here, I will want to try to hide it on my back side. And we will want to do the same thing over here. So we want to tighten that down a little bit. And that. And this white right here, we will do the same thing. We'll want to hide it the best we can in the white section. And then we'll clip it. And the same thing for this red. So this red part, this red yarn, we'll clip that. And we'll weave this in and hide this in the back also. And this is called weaving in our yarn ends. So we're just trying to hide these yarn ends the best we can so it doesn't unravel, and also so they're not seen. We definitely want these to be hidden. So we have our hat, and here's our top here. So for our snowball, what we will do is, so this is my front. This is the side that I want to be my front. I think it looks cleaner and nicer. So I'm going to turn it to its back. And when I pull this up, I will see a chain here. I am going to go into that chain with my white yarn. So I'm just going to move this red yarn all the way. I'm going to grab that cream yarn and pinch it with my fingers. And I'm just going to pinch everything together. I'm going to insert my hook into that chain. I'm going to yarn over, pull that through, And now I will chain 2. In this same chain. And you can either make 6 or 7 half double crochets. It's totally up to you. Let's see. This one I did 6. This one I did 7. Me personally, I like the 7 half double crochets. I like this snowball better than I like this one, but it's totally up to you what you would like to do. But for this tutorial, I will make 7. So I will yarn over. I'm going to go back into that same chain there. And I'm going to make 7 half double crochets. So go up, yarn over, pull through the stitch. I have my 3 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So here we have our 7 half double crochets. So we're just going to turn our hat this way. And we're going to go into that chain that we began with, that chain 2. So we're looking at it upside down. I'm going to take my hook. I'm going to go into that chain 2. And I'm just going to yarn over, pull that yarn through, and then through that loop. So that is a slip stitch again. And now I kind of have like this, it's rounded. It looks slightly funny. You could leave it like that. That looks fine if that's what you like. But for this tutorial, we're going to do a little bit more. So now I have these chains going around the top. So I'm going to work into those chains. So I'm going to go in to that next chain there. And I'm going to make a slip stitch. And you can make it tight if you'd like. You can pull it down and make it tight. We'll go into that next chain, yarn over, and slip stitch. You can pull it tight. Go into that next chain, yarn over, pull it through, and slip stitch. So next chain. So we are just repeating this. We're slip stitching, going in a circle. So now we just turn our hat, go into that next chain, and slip stitch. Let's see, I think I have 2 more left. Go into that next chain, and slip stitch. Let's see, I think I have 1 more. And then slip stitch. Now I am going to slip stitch join. It's not totally necessary. You could actually If you have a hard time doing the slip stitch join, you can stop right now, pull this up. Make sure when you cut this long, because we will use this to hang our ornament. So make sure you cut this kind of long, like 10 inches maybe if you want. Or you can slip stitch join right here. And it's the same thing as a slip stitch. And you can do it that way. But either way, I want to pull this up. We want a good enough long yarn tail here. We're going to clip it. And now we are going to grab our yarn needle. So this is a regular yarn needle. It's an aluminum yarn needle. I'm going to thread it. So we have this loop here. So I'm just going to go through that loop and pull, and you'll see it's in this loop thing that helps to bind that off. So now, and of course, you could always leave it like this. That does not look bad. That looks fine. Or you can do what I'm going to do. Kind of looks like a head, doesn't it? Like if you want to make a little angel. Oh, look at that. I just realized you can make an angel. You can do the same exact pattern. And it looks like a head. And actually what we're about to do will make it look like a halo. And you can just add wings. Ah, look at that. You can actually, I'm sorry, I got excited. You can actually use this same exact pattern to make you a little angel. So what we're going to do now is, you see these chains here? They're right here. So we're going to turn here. And I like to go in through these two loops on the side that you see. These two loops instead of these two loops like the chain. You can go in through there if you want. But me, I like to go through the sides. So like here and here. So I'm going to go in. We should make a little angel, shouldn't we? In all white, we should do that. We absolutely should. But I should definitely do another video. Make the same exact pattern and make a little angel. Alright, so now I'm going to go into that next chain there. Oops. And pull. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this in each chain along the sides here. And this does actually kind of create like a little halo. So we went all the way around. We are now going to, isn't that neat? So we are now going to cinch this close. So we're just going to pull it tight. And that's what it looks like. See how it kind of looks like a little halo? So if you want to make these like bumpity, you want this to be more bumpity instead of this one. See, this one looks like this one. But if you want yours to look more like this with the kind of textures and stuff, then what we're going to do is we're just going to like randomly go through this. So we're just going to go in and just randomly go throughout our ball here. And go in through the middle. And I was just basically playing around and going through it just to see what I could do, basically. Just to see what it would look like. I have no idea what this is going to turn out to look like because I'm just playing around. Yeah, so that's all you do is you just play around. Just go throughout it with your yarn needle. It'll create lots of different bumps and ridges. See? Oh, sorry. I like it. I like how it's all bumpity. Definitely like the bumpities. All right, so we are almost done. There we go. Now, I'm going to remove our yarn needle. So we have our two strands here. So we have our white strand here and our white strand here. And my hanging thing's not going to be that long because my beginning yarn strand's quite short. Still, that'll be fine. That'll still be long enough to hang on the tree. Now this red strand we will hide in the back, just like we did the other ones. So we will just weave that in and out through some stitches. Just to hide that. And that's good. All right, so our yarn tail. So we want both of these to be in the back. So what I could do is, that's a little too tight. Let's see. I'll thread this one with the yarn needle. I'm just going to push it in through the back like that. So now I have both of them right here. I have this really unique looking snowball. So now my two yarn tails are right side by side. So I'm just going to stretch this out. And I really wish I would have made that first yarn tail when I joined at the top. I wish I would have made it longer, but it's okay. So now I'm just going to create a knot. And then this here, this knot, I'm just gonna push it up. So I'm gonna pinch here, my ends. I'm just gonna push it up. And there we go. And then I will show you real quick how to make the mistletoe. So here is our little hat. How cute. A little snow Santa hat with a little snowball. All right, now it's time to show you how to make the mistletoe. So if you'd like to make the mistletoe, we are going to need a small hook here. I'm just going to go with this 1.40 millimeter hook. It's really small, but this yarn is also really small. Okay, so if you'd like to make the mistletoe and you want to grab you some green yarn, what we're going to do is we're just going to make a slip knot. And I'm just going to use a small tiny hook for this little yarn here. And what I'm going to do is I am going to chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. And you can make it tighter or smaller if you want. But I'm going to make just 1 double crochet. So I'm going to go into that first chain. And make 1 double crochet. I'm going to pull that loop up, and now I'm just going to clip it. I'm going to grab this yarn tail through that loop. So that's all I did to make one side of the mistletoe, is just a chain 3 and 1 double crochet. Now I'm going to go into that beginning chain. This yarn tail, I'm going to make 3 chains, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to yarn over, go into that same chain and make 1 double crochet. And that's it. You can always make another double crochet. That might turn out good. Now I'm just going to grab that yarn tail and pull it through that loop. Pull and tighten it down. Now I'm going to clip this short by that knot. So I'm done with the green yarn now. And here's our little leaves. So now I'm going to grab this red floss here. I'm going to make a slip knot. with that same tiny crochet hook. I'm going to chain 1 and 2. In that first chain, I'm going to make 3 single crochets. 1, 2, and 3. And now I'm going to go over to that first single crochet, and I'm going to slip stitch join. And it is a little difficult dealing with a really small hook and really small yarn, but we'll be done in just a moment. I'm just going to slip stitch that. And pull it tight, and I kind of got like this little ball here. So now it's going to clip it. And that loop on my hook here, I'm just going to yarn over and grab that yarn tail and pull it through, and then pull it to tighten it down to bind it off. So now I got this little bumpity thing here. So now what we are going to do is grab our mistletoe, and on each side of our mistletoe we want to get each side of this floss, this yarn tail, through that. So here's the middle. Just going to insert that hook in there. I want to try to grab that red floss and pull that through. I'm going to insert my hook on the other side of that mistletoe and do the same thing with this other side. So I'm going to grab that. Sometimes it helps if you just lay it down. Sometimes it's a little hard to work, you know, crochet floss or crochet thread. Just want to get that in there. So they're both in there, good and tight. There we go. So now on our hat. So let's see our hat here. Here's one of our hats. And you just choose where you want to put it. So let's put it up here. So we got these 2 strands here, right? So we're just going to lay it across. We want to get these 2 strands through the back here. So I'm going to go in through the back. And I just want to grab that red floss. I want to pull that through. Now right next to it, I want to go in through the back. And now I want to grab that other red floss yarn tail. There we go. There we go. And now it's on there, and now I just tie it. So I hope that helped. I know dealing with really thin floss and stuff like this can be a little frustrating and difficult, but if you want to give it a try, it's really not hard to crochet it, at least. And I really hope that you really like this video, and I really hope that you really like making this ornament too. I think it's very, very pretty. There you go. So thank you all for joining me. Thank you all for watching the video and making it all the way to the end. And I will see you all soon with some more crochet patterns. Thank you all so much. Bye bye.